Hey everybody, and welcome to a little bit of something different. I was thinking, Kate and I are going to be gone for a little while, and I wanted to have something to upload over our holiday season. I'm only going to be gone for like 4 or 5 days, but something to upload that is not Rebirth, because everyone loves watching Rebirth. That's awesome. I love playing Rebirth. Like literally the last 40 videos I've recorded have been Rebirth, but variety is the spice of life. Let's play a little GeoGuessr. If you're not familiar with what GeoGuessr is, GeoGuessr, you can go to GeoGuessr with no e.com. Basically, it generates 5 places on Google Street View and just kind of places you in them, and you have to guess by putting a pin on a map where you are in the world. It's kind of a mix of like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, Sherlock Holmes, trivia, geography knowledge. It's very interesting. It's not for everybody. These are going to be some very quiet, contemplative videos. Put them on the right side. Play along with me. There should be a seed in the video description if you want to play along with me. Let's get started. I'm going to do a few of these because I like this game a lot. I always play it when we have solo streams. So there are going to be some weird artifacts on the screen, and there's not going to be any audio. And additionally, there's going to be these black bars, this kind of like weird letterboxing. That is because of the resolution that GeoGuessr runs in. All right. Immediately, we can go like forward and backwards. Immediately, I'm very confident that we are in Australia, because this is a little bit of, semi-intermediate level GeoGuessr, but Australia has the tendency to have these old school cameras on their Google vehicles. I know that sounds ridiculous. It sounds like I might be just pulling that out of my ass, but I've played enough GeoGuessr to know that A, they love Australia, Norway, and Brazil, and B, these old cameras tend to be used on the Australian expeditions. Maybe they went to Australia back in like 2001 to get this all done. So they were using like Nikon Coolpix point and shoot or something like that. Now, admittedly, I have no idea. Australia is kind of my Achilles heel when it comes to... they are driving on the left side of the road as well, so it should be, it's probably either Australia or England. I'm going to guess that this is probably not England. I have no idea where we are in Australia. And to be honest with you, whenever I end up being in, I wouldn't say we're necessarily in the countryside fully, like we could be just outside of a city, but whenever I end up in Australia and I'm not in a place where I can like look for street signs and, posters that tell me, coming to Canberra Concert Hall, then I find myself a little bit in the lurch somewhat. I'm going to try to find a street sign here, and then we'll probably guess. So if you're playing along with your seated runs at home, you might want to pause the video soon, because I'm going to guess. Please. Something Bay. So, this tells me, usually there's stuff blurred out. Yeah, this tells me that at least we're probably on the coast, which, to be honest with you, I probably could have guessed for myself anyway. Man, when you end up in the countryside-ish, there's not a lot of contextual clues for you to choose. So we'll check out this one last sign up here. This might even just be like it probably means like bridge coming up if you're looking at it from the other side. Okay, let's take a guess. South Australia seems to have a lot of bays. Let's say we're near Port Augusta. We could be very off. Australia is a very big continent. Yep, we were pretty far away. But honestly, that's not that bad as far as Australia goes, to be honest with you. For me, at least. If you're Australian, I assume you do a little bit better. Okay, this one, got a Toyota here. Those are driven everywhere. One of the contextual clues you like to use. I'm thinking we're looking at South America or Southeast Asia, just based on the foliage. I'm thinking more South America. This has almost like a little bit of a Spanish feel going on. We'll see. By the way, if you are a native speaker of Spanish or Portuguese, I apologize, because oh, no, this is like Thai, I think. Okay, so maybe we are in Southeast Asia. I very, very frequently get Spanish and Portuguese mixed up, so I apologize in advance. I mean no ill will by it. It is just my own ignorance. I don't speak Spanish or Portuguese. In the 2010 World Cup, I was in Las Vegas. I placed a $40 bet on Portugal to beat Spain in the quarterfinals, and I lost. That is my story related to that. Okay, so I'm pretty confident that this is Thai. Now, it's hard to do GeoGuessr without having chat on the right side, because sometimes I'll like look and I'll be like, I think this is Thai, and then someone in chat will be like, oh my god, this guy's an idiot, that's, Malaysian, okay? I honestly don't know, but I believe that that's Thai. It looks like Thai script to me, as someone who has never been to Thailand. Now, my general thinking in GeoGuessr, I believe that's the Thai flag as well. Just in case you were, at this place and you forgot what country you were in. My general way of playing GeoGuessr is that I find what country I'm in, or I make a reasonable approximation. Is that... I thought that was Barack Obama on that sign. I don't think he's... Okay, I don't think that's Barack Obama. You'd be amazed at some of the weird, just cultural stuff that you can find out here. I figure out what country I'm in, and then I usually, unless I have something else to go on, I just pick the biggest city. But, I've never been to Bangkok, but it strikes me that this is maybe outside of Bangkok because it's relatively, rural, it seems. Apologies for that weird artifacting over here. Maybe it's because I'm zoomed in. Okay, this could be good information. Maybe these signs are half English. Wat Huatanen subdistrict. Wat. So Wat actually, now I'm starting to think that maybe it's not Thailand. Maybe we're actually in Cambodia. They're fairly close together. We should zoom in on the map here. But I know, what makes me think this? What makes me think this is, Angkor Wat is that, it's not in Burma, right? That's in Cambodia. It's like a Cambodian, historical building. And admittedly, this is a word that could be used in a lot of Southeast Asian countries, and I just wouldn't know it. But that looks Vietnamese now that I think about it. Like, Ban Hoa Thanon. But I don't know if this is what Vietnamese language looks like. I don't think it is. I think we're definitely in the right region. It's just going to be a question of whether or not we're in the right country. I think I'm going to go with Cambodia here, and I'm going to say that, we're outside of, like, Phnom Penh, then. Maybe, like, here. Okay, so we were off. It wasn't Thailand. We should have gone with our original guess, but that's not so bad. 420 kilometers. Having never been to Southeast Asia, I'll take it. So we're back in Australia. It's a little unfair because you can just tell that you're in Australia based on the camera quality. But at the same time, that doesn't really help out all that much because Australia is still a nightmare. If you've never been to Australia or you don't know very much about Australian geography, which definitely describes the situation that I'm in, this is going to be a problematic one. I'm almost, if you're playing along at home, perhaps get ready, because I'm probably just going to make a fairly quick guess here, I think. Because really, it doesn't, like, I have nothing to go on unless I find a street sign, and, the street signs, I can use my arrow keys to kind of move forward here, but it's going to take forever. Let's at least go until we reach, like, an intersection. Oh, there's a street sign. It might just say, like, bridge ahead. Oh, come on. I can't read that at all because we got like this camera is worse than the camera that comes built into the Nintendo 3DS. And I'm not firing shots at Nintendo. That camera is very not good though. Fairview. Okay. Well, that at least gives us something. Are we driving on the right side of the road? It's hard to tell. No, we must be driving on the right. No, this has to be Australia. This can't be the US. The US stuff in GeoGuessr, even in like small town Delaware, they are using new cameras. I would be very surprised if this was not Australia. I suppose it could also be anywhere else in, the oceanic region. Man, though, that is like an American pickup truck. Dutchman. What is that, like a Chevy Tahoe or something like that? You know what? I am not, do these say feet? No, it's weight limit. I'm trying to see, like, if I could find something. I'm still pretty confident in spite of everything that we are in Australia. I know that might sound crazy given that it seems like we're driving on the right side of the road. But if I could just find something that was like metric system or imperial, you know, if I saw something that said 50 miles an hour, then I would probably be more content to go with the US. If I saw something that said 50 kilometers an hour, I'd be more content to go with Australia. We must be driving on the right side of the road, right? Unless my brain is broken. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not going to make a decision that quickly. This one could end up being a major whiff. I have to go with my gut and say Australia. And, you know, it's a relatively mountainous region, so let's take a look. There's not really much topography going on here, but it looks like this is maybe a little bit more mountainous. Let's try Brisbane. Yep, okay. So, we've learned something very valuable. I got 1 point there, and that is that we can't rely on our camera meta anymore. All of the signs were pointing to this being in the United States, and then I still went with Australia. I feel like a damn idiot now. All right, give me... Okay, this is more high def. I like it. I don't have a guess yet. Now I have a guess. Okna Dzwi. This is somewhere in Europe, I'm guessing. Oh, did I just see Graf? Hold back. So, Graf is in Austria. Over here. Graz! No, I've got it backwards. Okay, my mistake. Let's zoom out a little bit. We can't make a decision yet. Some of the hardest areas for me in GeoGuessr are in Russia and Eastern Europe. Husqvarna, that's a very common brand here, even in Canada. But that implies, because they make outdoor and like winter equipment, that implies that there's a winter here. That might sound obvious, but that rules out a lot of places on the globe. Aleco coal. I don't know what coal means, but it could mean like district or county or something. One easy way to start telling things is by the kind of cars that are being driven. I actually don't know what brand that is, strangely enough. Not that I know a whole bunch about cars. We should turn around and go in the other direction so we can actually read the street signs. Alright. Yeah, it looks like we got a little bit more valuable information here. Alright. Yeah, maybe we should follow the path here and go to Oleka Coal. I'm thinking like it's southern or southeastern Europe. Maybe like Bulgaria. It could still be Austria. What's definitely in Europe. This sign might have some valuable... Okay, don't go to Aleco. This could be like the Czech Republic. Could be Hungary. I know, by the way, because I play this game and I have a European audience, and they go, "Oh, Northernlion, how could you think that was, you know, Hungary when it was actually Poland?" You gotta understand, I've lived my whole life on this enormous continent that only has, well, 3 large countries and then Central America, and there's a fair amount of, like, homogeneity between Canada and the United States, at least, so to know that it's at least in this general region, I think is almost a little bit impressive in and of itself. But this is why I'm playing it, is to try to get better. Could this truck like get off our ass? Oh my god! Or could we get off its ass? So you know, I hope that you'll have some sympathy for me here. I'm starting to think that it might actually be Polish. But I gotta be honest, and maybe this is a little bit overly reductive, but it's the Zeds. The Zeds, there's a lot of Zeds. That could be many languages spoken in Eastern Europe, I think. They're definitely using kilometers, and they're using the comma instead of the period to denote decimal places. I think we gotta take a crack at this sooner rather than later. Let's take it back just a little bit here. Nope, don't go this way either. Has there been some kind of apocalypse? Maybe red line doesn't mean don't go there anymore. Alright, let's zoom out again so we can get a better fidelity picture. This is a cow crossing. I just want to go like a little bit further. Like figure out like if we can get a better... The problem is that like all these cities, I don't recognize them. Sea bleak. I don't know what that means. I hope it's not a bad word. Does it say Duri? That's a letter that I don't know. Unless it's just a weird T. Sometimes buses can have like the name of the country on them. They'll be like, it's the Poland Express. Isn't that... That's French. That's... Let's go back just a little bit. I wouldn't... To be honest with you, I wouldn't recognize the license plate even if they showed it, but... I was hoping maybe at some point on the bus it would say that guy's got like a cartoon face. It would say like, you know, we're going to Bratislava or something like that, but no. What about, let's take a step back here. You might already know, and this is why, you know, I got the seed down there so you guys can play along with me. I think, to be honest with you, I think I've gotten a pretty tough seed for my own personal tastes here. I kind of blew that American one. I should have gone with not my gut. All right, I'm gonna suggest that we're in Poland. Where in Poland? Let's say, you know, we're in Plok. All right, so we were in the right country. We were a little closer to Lithuania, which yeah, I'm not too displeased with this. That was a lot of points, made up for the American one slightly. All right, this could be parts of the United States, but I'm thinking Mexico, South America. Let's take a look around. Like to be able to find out if we were in a city. There are some like special, I wouldn't necessarily call them challenge runs, but there are some GeoGuessr games that are like US specific or UK specific. There's no Canada specific, which is a pain in the butt. And I don't want to do UK specific because I always... Again, I don't know if this is Portuguese or Spanish, and that's my own fault. But this is making me think that we're in Brazil. Because Brazil is very common. Is that .com.br? I don't even know if that would work, but .com. All right, I'm going to operate under the assumption that we're somewhere in Brazil. Brazil is a very large country. Pentecostal da Bíblia do Brasil. Porta da Vida. Now, the question is Porta da Vida a city? Or is Porta da Vida like the name of, I don't know, the particular denomination of the church or something like that, right? If you are a Brazilian viewer, I don't mean to offend you. And I mean, look who's talking, right? Canada's enormous as well. But good Lord, Brazil is an exceptionally large country. And it's got so much coastline that I would expect that there is like a lot of, you know, there's Porta Alegre da Vida. Porta da Vida. This is a little bit of a scummy way to play. Usually they end up being near big cities, when you're in a city at least, or you're in like civilization. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to maybe do a little bit more exploration before I call this one, because I think we can learn a lot here. Sometimes these would have the city on them. Telefonica. That probably means there's a telephone there, if I had to guess. But yes, the reason I'm not going to do a UK one specifically is because I don't know enough about, you know, the cities in the United Kingdom. So we've done it in the past, and I'll be like, oh, that's Dublin, and they're like, oh, it's Belfast, you asshole. And I'll be like, oh, that's you You know, that's London. And they're like, it's Gwynedd. And I'm like, ah, shit. Well, my bad. You know, it's all a learning experience. I'm assuming there are some contextual clues here that I'm missing that would just tell me what city we're in right now. But we'll do a little bit more exploration. I'm not gonna. You could really scum it up and zoom in like as deep as you could go, and then just try to like scan for roads. But you know, if it's anything like North American road setup, there's a main street, you know, in every city. There's a First Street, there's a Queen Street, there's a Princess Street, there's a King Street. Trying to see, because they really have like alcohol on their sign. That's my kind of place. That's lava rapido. That means fast lava. That's very scary. So it's possible that perhaps this hotel, which we'll turn around and look at in a second here, has the name of the town on it. Perfect. Now, Sao Carlos. I don't know what Sao means, but, you know, Sao Paulo. It's the name of a city. So I'm assuming that this could be in Sao Carlos. Let's take it back just a second here. USP. University of Sao Paulo? And maybe we're in... Okay, so that probably narrows it down a little bit. Now I just need to find out where Sao Paulo is. I know it's... Ah, there we go. I know it's big. Okay, let's zoom it in here a little bit. And what was this? Sao Carlos was where we were. Now we might be operating under a false assumption here. But I'm thinking that if we stay in this general... Wasn't that Ferras de... I think that we're right around here because there was a sign for that, right? Now, I'm not looking for national parks. I'm trying to look more for, like, universities. I thought that was Jabronis. It's not. Jardin. Very different. I'm gonna suggest that we're, like, here. Rather than spend too much time trying to get exactly correct. Ah, that's pretty good. Ah, Sao Carlos. I didn't even see it. It was right up here. But hey, that's gonna do it for this episode. We got 13,000 points. I don't think that's very good. I'm going to copy this link down here and put it in the seed. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you played along and did well for yourself. I hope you did better on your third guess than I did. And I'm interested to know what your scores are. Although, of course, you could also just completely make them up. But hey, for now, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And subscribe if you want to see more. I'm very interested to see what the feedback is like, because this is something different than I normally do. But if it's good, then I'll keep doing it, because I like playing it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.